shots for par, I just do two. One putt, par four, birdie, woohoo. New driver, info, replace, M2, par five, fairway, what you fin do? Think I'll try to get on into. Start right, good line, good view. It drew, shooter McGavin.
We're here with AJ from Pioneer. AJ, how are you doing, man?
Pretty good, Mac. You?
I'm well. Thanks for chatting. We just kind of spent a few minutes chatting about all the luxury gear in the golf world, and figured we better turn on the mics and have a chat. How are you?
I'm doing great.
How are your holidays? I'm gonna try and we got one coming out. What is it, Monday now when we're recording? So we got an episode coming out in the next couple of days. I'm gonna try and pop this one out too as a little bonus episode, because AJ's a very kind man, sent us over a couple of things so we can have a look at some of them through the pod. If you're watching over on YouTube, I will put a couple photos up. But yeah, how are you doing? How are your holidays?
They've been pretty good. Usually nonstop, running around, busy doing the Pioneer stuff. But had a nice chance to finally decompress for a couple days. And we're kind of getting ready to get right back into it here.
Yeah, I've had a couple of weeks off of my other job, my real job, I should say. Podcasting is definitely not a job. It's just a fun kind of passion project that's kind of grown into something. Like I was kind of talking with Bryce, who's my cousin. He comes on here, and somebody sent us our stats the other day, or they saw that we were like number 5 or something in Canada, and that was pretty cool, man. It's
that's unreal.
Yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a year, and that we've been doing it a little bit more, so it's been cool. We got to chat with a lot of really cool people. So cool holiday season. Definitely a little unique for all of us, but World Juniors is up and running, and can I get a prediction from you? Can we put you on the spot and get a prediction from you?
I think Canada takes it home. I think they do. They're so strong up front.
Yeah. Well, Owen Power had 3 goals.
Well,
last night.
I mean, and it was all defense.
Yeah.
All defense yesterday. So.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game. A little shaky start, but they settled in as they normally do.
Yeah.
But AG, we'd love to hear about yourself. I know you do really good work at Pioneer. You've kind of collabed with a few of our friends, Dan, Man, the Goat Track, some of those guys. So if you looked on our page, you might have seen a little bit of AJ's work. But can you tell us a little bit about yourself, kind of maybe your past and how you got into the Pioneer world?
Yeah. So. Self-proclaimed golf tragic, die hard. If it's decent out, I want to be out on the golf course. My wife kind of jokes around that I only like to go for a walk if it's with a set of clubs on my back. So it's kind of golf 24/7. Grew up playing a little bit competitive, never really good enough to go anywhere with it, but can kind of get it around. And yeah, just always love golf. Always love the golf accessories and everything to go with it. Kind of had that mentality where I like to stand out on the golf course, whether it be with clothes or clubs or head covers, and kind of accidentally fell into this little world of building head covers. So it's been a fun little journey.
So why did you create the Pioneer brand? Like, what was it just that you liked the accessory so much? You kind of like, was there something that you first dabbled with, and what kind of got that ball rolling for you guys?
So it was a few years ago when I'm just picked up a Jones bag. Always been a fan of that kind of retro vintage look. Was looking online trying to find some head covers. At the time, there wasn't a whole bunch of options in Canada. Tons of stuff in the States, lots of really nice looking gear, but by the time you added in your duty and shipping and everything else, like if I was going to get 4 head covers, I'm looking at $350, $400, and at the time I really wasn't wanting to be able to justify that. Thought it was a little bit steep as a Canadian to get this gear, and thought, you know what, I'm going to just try and make some myself and see what happens. And finally figured out eventually. There was a ton of trial and error. I know we were kind of chatting about how these things are put together, and when I started, I had no idea. After a few months, I still had no idea. And then eventually it kind of clicked and started kind of rolling with them and getting better and better and kind of perfecting it to where we are now. So
So I'm looking at a couple of the options right now. If we can just take a second to talk about it, I've got a fairway cover here. This one's full leather, and you guys laser etch these ones.
Yeah, yeah. So we're just actually getting into the laser or the all leather products. Got some new kind of industrial machines that are built to handle some thicker material. So we're playing around with that. We can laser etch. We're doing a lot of. We're actually kind of getting ready to do our first release on the site for a stock option. We just had a poll up the other day there, and Winter Classic won pretty handsomely.
I saw that. I saw
say.
that. Yeah, I definitely voted for the Winter Classic. Yeah.
Yeah. There was the turnout on that was insane, but yeah, we're doing laser etching on those. We can do customization, put your name, initials, basically anything on it.
That's really cool. Now, I'm also looking at, so I've got a driver head cover. Again, if you're not checking us out on YouTube, on the Screws Podcast over on YouTube. So this one is, can you explain what this one may be?
Yeah, so we also have, we use a fabric and a vegan leather and ultra leather combo.
Okay.
Gives a nice durability on the back. And then just kind of a classic look and at a good price point on the front.
Yeah, because this is probably like, I don't know, 2 ounces too as well, right? So if you're a walker carrying your bag a lot, I know you're not going to put on any pounds really with the head covers and whatnot, but it's extremely lightweight and the stuff is like, it's incredible quality. I love it. I absolutely love it. So I'm we were just talking about, you know, custom orders for Brycer and I, and trying to get a couple things for the pod, and yeah, even my wife was on board with this one. She was saying, oh, I like that stuff, I like that, so gotta do something with her bag too. But why the name Pioneer?
So I grew up actually originally working at and playing at a golf course southeast Edmonton. It's been torn down and kind of is now housing and stuff like that as the city's expanded. But it was just a little executive 18-hole golf course. A buddy of mine that I played hockey with, his dad was the owner of it. It was just a place where I grew up. It was where I spent my summers. Dad would drop us off in the morning on his way to work with a lunch and some money for a hot dog and a pop later on. And we'd play 18 holes in the morning, hang around at the putting green with the other kids that were there, go out, play another 18 holes in the afternoon. We get picked up on his way home from work. So it was that place where kind of everything, and it just met all the right people. And yeah, that's where my passion for golf started. And it was the only name that really kind of stuck when I finally decided to turn this into a little bit of a business.
I like it. That's pretty cool. So the name of the course was obviously Pioneer Golf Course or Golf Club or whatever. So a little ode to them. And, you know, that story reminds me of I've had a few guys that are out west, like Garrett and Joshua Haywood and a couple of those guys on the pod. And they have the same story about getting dropped off in the morning, kind of playing 36 and then, you know, getting picked up in the evening. So, I don't know. Maybe I got to move out west. Seems like you guys get a little bit more golf out there than we do. But what's in the line right now? We talked about a couple of the items, a couple of the head covers here. Leather versus you know, you've got like the canvas one. Is this one canvas on the front or a fabric on the front?
It's a wool.
Okay,
100% wool on the front on that one. Yeah, and then I believe that one's just the vegan leather. We also have some that are the wool with ultra leather. It'd be the same material that you would get on like a Scotty Cameron putter. So super high end for an artificial leather, really durable, easy to clean. Like it's really, really good stuff. And then like I mentioned before, we are starting with the full leather. So we got our first one. We'll be dropping on the site January 1st. And we're doing custom stuff as well. So at any time, if there's anything you want to get that's custom as far as fairway woods, putters, drivers, the whole gambit, can just fire us an email and we do some mock-ups and kind of just take whatever you're envisioning and see if we can put something together that you're going to want to go with.
I like it. Or if you have absolutely no vision like me and you just say, AJ, this stuff looks absolutely stunning. You go ahead, you make me something. You said, what does Bryce want? I kind of just, Bryce is an easygoing guy. I figured whatever you come up with is going to look probably better than we could both imagine. So we got, head covers, we got accessories, we got hats, you got some sweaters, you got some apparel, that kind of stuff. And these ball markers, man, like the ball markers are sweet too. Keychains,
Yeah.
stickers, you got kind of the whole gambit like you mentioned. So did you kind of have an idea when you first started up the pod? Was there something that a direction you wanted to go? Was it always head covers, or was it kind of like an accessory apparel brand, anything like that?
I think in the grand scheme of things, like when I was looking at it big picture, and I don't know if everybody's like this, but when you start something new, you almost have those grand ideas at the start of what it might turn into. And I kind of always envisioned like a bit of an accessory and kind of apparel lifestyle brand for off the course. As I've gone on, I've kind of found that the head covers and the creating new designs and getting ideas from customers and people that to go, hey, do you think you can put something like this together? And just seeing it all kind of come together and the finished product of it, and just at the end of it being like, okay, I put that together. It's good. Everyone seems to like it. It's just like that sense of gratitude, and just you get a good fulfillment from it. So I definitely think moving forward, it's kind of transitioned to more of the handmade products as opposed to the apparel side, and just kind of bringing that in for, well, I need hats to wear on the golf course. I got a small head, so I like to bring in stuff that's going to fit me.
Hey, we're wearing the same hat right now, and I have a large melon here. So it works for the both of us. Honestly, this is some incredible quality, AJ. If anybody's kind of checking out the pod right now, go over and or just scroll down below. I'm going to link your IG, your website. You got to have a look at some of this stuff. Canadian made, of course. That's the idea of the pod, is to support as many local brands, anyone really that's kind of in the golf space, golf community, that's trying to kind of connect everybody. That's sort of the idea. And this stuff's, it's good. I'm not just saying that. I gotta share some of it. I don't want to, but I'm picking something out of this. I gotta give something back to somebody, because this is pretty awesome stuff. I did want to ask you, that was kind of one of the things you mentioned, was where you wanted to see the brand go. Like, was there, like you mentioned, kind of putting together like, an apparel brand or whatever it may be. Is there anything in the future you might want to work on? I know we had kind of talked a bit about another bag company and stuff, or is this just something that you want to see as like a side thing,
To be honest, I'm not sure. It's been a lot of fun doing it as that side kind of project. It's actually a bit of a nice escape. It's a kind of chance I get to shut everything else and just focus on that. So for now, I'm so happy with where it's at. I will say I don't have a ton of free time. I've been blown away by the support and just the amount of people that are wanting to buy products from us and come back and buy more products from us after they get their first couple. So I don't know. We're going to kind of see where it takes us. I'd love to have it as a full-time thing one day. It's hard to imagine it, considering I'm just kind of working out of a little spot that we made for myself in my basement right now. And it's just my wife and I that are kind of cranking all of these head covers and alignment sticks and all that stuff out. But yeah,
I like it, man. This sounds
we'll kind of see. We'll just see what happens.
You and I have a pretty similar story. I'm just a little east of Toronto, but I'm down in the basement. I got the heat shut off. It's pretty cold right now, so I've got some sound dampening panels all over. Like, I've got the studio kind of insulated here and stuff. It just I don't know, man. I love podcasting. It's been kind of like, it's been interesting, like we're going through a global pandemic and we're not really getting to see anybody. And like, I would never chat with you if we didn't have a podcast, right? It's pretty cool, man, just to get to kind of, connect, meet new people in the industry and the community, whatever it may be, and just shut it all off and chat some golf for a few minutes. It's we're lucky, man. We're very lucky. wanted to touch back on the customs a little bit. Where do you source your this is one of the things that's kind of come up in the past, and I've always been interested in how the process of the head covers are built. So if we can get into that a little bit, if you don't mind, where do you guys source your materials from?
So I try and source everything I can locally,
Okay.
as much as possible. So I have a company that I go to in town here in Edmonton that is a leather distributor.
Nice.
And so I'm able to pick up that stuff local. Use Ennis Fabrics for some of the ultra leather material. They're a local company as well with a few branches. I think there's one out in Mississauga and then one out in Vancouver as well. So they're a Canadian company. And then kind of the other material is other local companies. Just everything, as much as I can keep kind of in this area, the better. Use a Canadian company to get the wooden dowel rods for the alignment sticks that we do as well. So yeah, just as Canadian as possible.
I forgot about those. Yeah, when we were talking about all the items in the lineup, we kind of passed over those, and I don't know how we could, because those are pretty awesome. Do you do all the work on those yourself?
Yeah, so we'll order them into the specs that we've kind of established as what I think is kind of best for our needs. And we'll stain them ourselves, paint them up, do all the laser etching on them. That's another thing that we can kind of customize as well. We do a lot with golf courses and some golf teams and stuff like that. So it's been a neat accessory in bags. It's definitely trending. There's a golf shop that's in town here that's been a huge support to Boar's golf shop in Edmonton. They've been carrying the stick since we kind of started this, and every time I go in there, they're usually gone. So it's really nice to see.
That's very cool. I actually just started following those guys because they did a massive giveaway on around the Christmas holidays. So that's pretty cool. Sounds like they they're doing what they can to give back as well, right? Which is awesome. I got a new light here. I got a couple of new lights, and I'm just like, it looks great. If you're checking out the visual on YouTube, like, it looks awesome, but I've got to maybe readjust kind of how my screen is. So I'm not going to edit this part out. It's too good, but yeah, I just have to take a minute, let my eyes get set up on my iPad here. But when you're like, you've got a laser, it sounds like the laser is the coolest possible thing. Like, I got to get one. I don't know if I have any use for one, but it sounds like you use it for just about everything. But if I come to you, I want to kind of build a head cover. I give you some ideas or some thoughts, colors, whatever it may be. How does the idea from kind of the infancy right up to when you ship it out, how does it work? Like, how do you put it together? All the kind of measurements. I'm sure you've got like a mock-up set for everything now, but can you explain that process a little bit to us?
Yeah, I have a few templates kind of that I've created based on depending what we want to do. We're kind of getting into the split look on the front with the drivers and the fairways and hybrids now. So we got a different template for that one as well. Usually I'll get a customer that will send me a message looking for, they have colors in mind, or they'll send me a picture of their bag. Is always a good way to do it, and just say, what do you think we'll kind of go with this? I'm looking for something that's going to match. And I usually go up and I'll create a few different mock-ups depending on what they're looking for, as well as with the initials that they'd want on them, depending on what logo they want to go with, if they want to go with something custom or one of the few that we have. And yeah, I'll create those mock-ups online and send them over for their review. And as soon as they decide what they want to go with, we kind of get in the process of getting the material cut out and slowly put together and etched and then finally put together and ready to go for them.
Is just you right now, AJ, on the team?
Yeah, it's just me and my wife.
Okay, nice. Okay, you guys are a busy couple, I bet, man.
Very, very busy.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It's kind of fascinating. Like I was mentioning, kind of, we've been able to connect with like Rawhide and Dormy and stuff like that. And one of the things that always comes up is like the idea of like how they, are stitched together and I'm kind of looking at this right now, just seeing all the work that goes into it and thinking like, I don't know, but yet I don't have that background. Do you have like I guess it'd be like a seamstress? Do you have that kind of background? Like, did you work in that kind of space before?
I've never sewed in my life
Okay.
before starting this. So it's kind of a funny story. It was in the summer before the pandemic, and I golf tons. My wife's not a huge golfer, so she thought it'd be fun to maybe take up sewing and kill some free time while I'm at the course. It didn't go over well. Her and the sewing machine did not get along. I had aspirations of her making head covers for me at the time, so that was kind of went south quickly. And then the kind of winter leading into the pandemic, the previous winter, I was bored and went upstairs one day. I was kind of looking at it. I was like, it can't be that hard to figure out. So started messing around, and probably about 3 or 4 months later, spending a few hours at a time, each time messing around with trying to figure out how to put them together, I finally got something that sort of resembled a head cover. It was in between sizes, which was perfect. I couldn't really put it on a driver or a fairway, so had to go back to the drawing board to figure out a better template for the size on those ones. But yeah, it was completely trial and error. It was a long process, but every time I kind of, and every time I screwed up or I missed a step, it was like, okay, now I know going forward why that step's important and what happens if you don't do it. And then it's kind of helped me evolve to where we are now.
Do you still have that one? Do you still have that first head cover?
I think my wife has it somewhere.
Nice.
She's probably got it tucked away.
I feel like that's gonna come back one day. And it's gonna be the Pioneer Vintage Collection or something like that. Go over a persimmon 2-wood or something like that. Maybe that might fit on that kind of nice if it's in between. But that's pretty cool. We had talked about, some of the clients that you had built for. You and I both have a friendship with Mac, and Mac Boucher has been on the podcast before. You guys connected, way back when he was kind of starting the whole Instagram world. Same with us. Like when we had him on the podcast, his page was kind of small, and we were chatting about it, and then all of a sudden he kind of blew up. No, I don't know if it had anything to do with our podcast, but no, Mac's a really great guy. He, I just love the slingers, and like it's just a lot of fun to watch him play. Like his game's absolutely incredible. You've done some work for him, and Luke, who is a friend of mine, Anthony Spagnoli. He's been on the podcast before. One of the only, I think there's 2 or 3 of them now that have done all top 100 courses in Canada.
Yeah.
So you're friends with one of them, and so am I, which is pretty cool. So, can you talk about those covers that you did for them a little bit?
Yeah, you bet. So the ones we did for Mac, like you mentioned, he had reached out kind of when we first started, and when he was kind of getting going with it and was looking at kind of building an Instagram following and seeing kind of what that world would lead into for him. It's not shocking at all to see what he's done. If you haven't seen him on Instagram, his ability to move the golf ball makes it's incredible. Like he's definitely a supreme talent.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know he's a pretty artistic guy too. Like he, loves the arts. He was like, when he was on the pod in the past, and like him and I just kind of having discussions, he was like a really I don't know, he just likes to kind of find a way to find that artistic side, and that's why he hits the golf ball like he does, right? Otherwise, he just said he would be incredibly bored of the game, and so I kind of see how you guys could link up to make something like he did. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we're actually kind of working on something right now where we'll do a couple designs of some head covers for him, and with proceeds going towards junior golf in some way. We haven't kind of figured out exactly how we're gonna do that yet, or how that's gonna transpire, but it's definitely something we're looking to do. I don't want to profit off of his notoriety. I'd rather see something go towards him from that, and he'd rather see something go towards. He doesn't really want to profit off it either. So we kind of decided, hey, I want to give back to junior golf. I know he's a big proponent of giving back to junior golf. So if we can do something that's going to support that and help other kids get into the game and hopefully find that passion that we have, then it's the best thing that we could possibly do.
No brainer, right? That's
yeah,
that's awesome. Appreciate that, guys. That's really cool. And
Yeah.
the 100 cover that you make for Luke, can you talk about that one a little bit?
Yeah, so Luke Steeden, he's a buddy of mine. We met out at Blackhawk Golf Club. He joined kind of the same year that we did, and we had a threesome that played every Wednesday and on men's night. And there was about 3 or 4 weeks in a row that Luke would just join up and hop on our tee time, and always had a lot of fun. He was another lefty, so completed our lefty foursome. And yeah, we just kind of rolled along like that. And finally on the 5th week, I think we were on like the 3rd green, and I looked at him, Luke, do you want me to just like book you in with us every week? Oh yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that from now on. It makes it easier than me trying to make sure that I get a tee time with you guys every week. So, but no, he's an incredible guy. I think he was the youngest guy in Canada to complete the top 100. He's got an absolute ton of the ones in the States as well. I think that's the next quest for him, is he's going to try and get the top 100 in the US as well. I'm not sure if he's picked the list that he's going off of yet. Apparently he's been a good, kind of filled me in on that world, how you gotta pick the year of the list that you want to go off of, depending on kind of how you feel about those rankings, and go from there.
Yeah, I know Anthony was just I guess just before the new, well, we're talking end of the year here, but just before the end of our golf season, or right around the end of our golf season, he was down playing a couple of those courses down in the States, and he just said it's we had just played TPC Heathlands before, and he said like he's a member there,
Nice.
and beautiful course, and he said like they're all this, and just really really nice courses, right? So
Yeah.
I got to get down and check some of them out. I haven't really played much golf down in the States at all, so I would like to get there. I got to get out west too. My wife used to work out there. She worked at Banff actually for a little bit after university, so I
No way.
I haven't got out your way to play. And I know talking with Garrett and Joshua Haywood and them, so I don't know. I got some people to go out and meet and connect with. If you could. AJ, if you could build a custom head cover, whatever it is for any golfer, doesn't have to be a pro. Who would it be?
Oh, you know what? We were kind of joking around about this last week. It's probably mostly because it's topical, but I think Charlie Woods would be a fun one to make a head cover for.
That'd be a pretty cool one. That would be.
Yeah, just like baby cat or just a baby goat. Like
Yeah.
he, that was so much fun to watch. Is just seeing a kid be that passionate and just that excited about golf is neat to watch.
It was kind of cool this year because you saw him get a little fired up at times too, right? Like he
Yeah,
wasn't rolling the putts like he was last year. Well, obviously a little bit more pressure on him too this year, right? But he was I kind of like seeing that competitive aspect. And Tiger said so many times, like, it's, I'm just a dad here kind of playing with my son. If he wants to play the game, he approaches it very well. Tiger, he's got the kind of the right mindset for him, but it was nice to see Charlie kind of want to dominate. He wanted to win, and
yeah,
second place was not good enough, and that's just like his dad, right? So building a little baby goat or a little Frank or something like that would be pretty cool.
yeah.
That'd be a pretty wild cover. If you like, up until now, do you have a favorite piece that you've built, or designed for somebody, or something that you put together? Whether it be like a piece of apparel, could be the sticks, could be anything really.
We've done a couple of the sticks that are really cool. I had a chance to do some stuff for Shane Bacon last spring there, and that was a little surreal. So we did a couple neat ones for him. The leather ones, to be honest, that's been the most fun lately. Everyone is kind of, I tend to like a little bit more than the one before. I don't know if it's just it's new and fresh and shiny, but one of the new leather ones, I think the Winter Classic might be the winner right now.
Okay, I like it. I'll have to have a look and oh man, I just send you my Visa number or something like that. But I really appreciate it, AJ. This is a lot of really cool stuff. I appreciate you kind of sending over that package, the hats, the covers, a couple of bags of teas, which are really cool too. The ball markers, if anybody's checking out the ball markers, definitely pick up one of those, throw them in your cart, add them on to your order. Really appreciate you coming on. If before I let you go, can you let us know where to get a hold of you?
Yeah, you bet. You can reach us on Instagram at Pioneer Golf Co. Or online. Our Shopify store is www.pioneergolfcompany.ca or .com. You can use either one. And yeah, those are probably the two best ways to get a hold of us. We've got a customized section for the head covers there that have some information with what we can do, as well as some pictures of past ones that we've done, and contact information from there as well. So,
and I would highly recommend, if you're listening to the podcast, to do so. Awesome stuff. And Bryce and I'll we're getting a couple things made up now, so we'll throw up a couple photos when we get ours, and you guys can have a look as well. Hopefully it'll inspire you to kind of go over and do the same. And yeah, I'm gonna pick a couple items here. AJ, let's team up. Let's give a couple of these items back to one of the listeners. Hopefully they're checking out this pod right now. I don't know, maybe we'll figure out something to that they got to put in the comments or something. We can say something right now. So yeah, probably have to comment Pioneer. That's probably a good thing. I won't put that in the post, and if you comment Pioneer, that means you're listening to the podcast, so you'll I don't know, we'll give you a couple extra ballots or something. That's pretty cool. But yeah,
that's perfect.
Thanks everybody for checking out Pioneer Golf Co. Again, you can just kind of scroll below if you're listening to this on Apple, Spotify, anything like that. Scroll below, click their Instagram, check it out, really cool. Or the website will be there as well. Thanks for following OTS Golf on Instagram, as well as On the Screws Podcast over on YouTube. Subscribe, do all that really cool stuff. I have no idea what I'm doing on YouTube, but we'll get there one day. Thanks, AJ. Thank you so much, man. Happy holidays. Really appreciate you coming on. I appreciate the World Junior prediction, because for me, it's the best kind of hockey. You know, I know we didn't get into it. I got into it with Garrett a little bit about the Oilers and whatnot, but the NHL, man, I don't know. No,
this is the time of year that we all get to cheer together. So
exactly, I love it.
This is my favorite hockey of the year. So
mine too. Go Canada, and thanks AJ from Pioneer Golf. Really appreciate you coming over and kind of just having a chat and giving us an insight into kind of, you know, the company that you guys have built and building these awesome head covers. So you know, if you're listening this far, listen to the pod, you know, this far in, please go check them out. Again, scroll below, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for having me on.
He's out in my ball in the course where I tee up. I lose the ball and I re-up. I miss a fairway, I probably end up in the ocean or maybe the beach. And I'm on a par 5 and I'm finna go reach it. Second was blind, I ain't see it. Feel like it might be an albatross working.